There's the little blue bar up there saying that we're live. Good evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, the 9th of April, 2019. Hello, chat room. So far, I can see Mariam. Obviously, Claudio's in the chat room and on the panel. Leah, Brian, Dagan. Hey, and to everybody that's coming in. So, on the panel, I can hear myself. Leah, Brian, Claudio, turn it down.
Yeah, I got it. It was me.
It's always good when one hears oneself. Anyway, on the panel we have Patricia, and of course Claudio. So good evening, you two. It's silence. Claudio.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Hello, my darling. Yes, very
Hi,
interesting.
everyone.
It's Patricia. Hi, Patricia. And I think she's turning hers back off because there's a television going in her house, so she's listening in. Very interesting talk we had last time you were on, Claudio. Really enjoyed that. And you're going to explain a little bit more and talk a bit about your story.
Yeah, love to.
Yeah, you said that you've got something to show us.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with last time there was a bunch of questions in the chat, and for some reason, maybe it's just the format that I was posting it, kept getting deleted. So I'd like to share that first and just go over the question people had and answer them best to my ability.
Very nice of you. It's one of the first times someone's done that on our channel, but go ahead. Hey, I just want to say hello. Hello, Sheeps and Neeps is in our chat room.
Hey, all right. How you doing, brother? All right, so I'll just go over these. You want me to start, Karen?
Yeah, go for it.
So I like this number, Clive Albert, at 1109-911. Anyway, he asked, does the 1945 degrees figure in somewhat? And I applied him with a link, and I also added something on my YouTube so that you can see, yes, it does. The 1945 does appear on the, basically it's the same where the dielectric inertial plane is. So I wanted to answer that for him. Boomy asked is this related to pi? He thought pi was a golden number. And I responded to him that pi is a function of the golden number. It all starts with 0 and 1, which is phi. Everything else is math derived from the prime philosophy, phi, right? So here's some math. So there's the equation that sets up how pi is a subintegral of phi. And you can see they have the imaginary number of I, and they also divide by 5. And there's those 5s, right? You'll see the 5s everywhere. So that was just there was a comment by Martin there. That's a repeat. A flat plane organ. So I agree with much of this, but what can we do with this knowledge to free the world? And my response is it explains music, the walk of life in the forms of vibration, 10 octaves of integrating light, alchemy, magnetism, numerology, and much more. I provided a couple links. And what I got presenting today, you'll start to understand why phi is such more important, because it relates to not only physics, but metaphysics, which are one and the same, because they're just a mirror of each other. Jesus Jones asked about the Ezekiel wheel, the Enki, and I told him that my response is that double wheel, this can only be the reciprocating torus field of magnetism, the convergent and centrifugal divergent, that's in the physical, and then in the physiological, or the philosophical terms of walk to heaven and the walk on earth. And again, the presentation today, I'll be getting a little bit more into that. And I gave him a couple links to Ken Wheeler's stuff. Another short question here. Was anyone notice the car tires are pentagon shape? And yes, they are. That bolt pattern, which is on there, which is kind of interesting. What can you do with this? I've already answered that above. Jesus Jones asked, is this all New Age, like a New Age of Aquarius? And I say, yes, this is a cycle. We are currently getting illuminated with more light coming out of the dark ages. This is not new, this is known. And I'm not sure if I said last time, but the Vatican, I mean, they track not only the sun, they track Sirius, they track the stars. They know when this next procession comes. And the Vatican didn't do it. It was our brothers and sisters who were illuminated that built it so that we could always follow it. So, and then the New Age of Aquarius, and yes, Aquarius is the water bearer. And the water bearer meaning when you get water, the energies, the love, whatever you want to call it, from the ether, from heaven, whatever, this water is falling down upon us. So in reality, we are just getting baptized. Okay, you don't have to go to church and have some water spilt on your head, because that's just a symbology of what's actually happening to us now. There's about that 1945. I didn't answer that. Nimnet asks, Aquarius is an air sign. What age are we in? The age of wireless equals air. According to Claudio Silvaggi, an air sign is directly related to the atmos, right? Which is the atmosphere, which is breath, spiritus sanctus. So that again, that is why Aquarius is an air sign, right?
Right.
From Ken Wheeler, The Lie of Breath Meditation, original Bulim or metaphysical air, or the Atman. There's a good video you can watch there, because you can meditate while you're sleeping, standing, walking, running, laughing. You don't have to just meditate to get there. If you need to get the busy life and everything out of your mind, and that helps you, that's fine, but you don't need to do that. And just some more from Claudio Silvaggi. You guys can scroll back to this video later. Aquarius, I thought, was a water sign. It's from Jesus Jones. Again, the glyph of Aquarius is vibrations, which is an air sign. Is there a cardinal change, which is a big, massive shift? I just said read those two up above. How does your birth number fit into the chart then? I've not found a good fit with the birth number. I use the walk path of life, and then I asked if he has a good source for me. I'd look into it. One thing that you can do is place your zodiac around the numbers and see where your planets are. So in other words, the planets of your birth chart line up with how those numbers what they can do with you. And I'm working on coming to bringing that to truth, because it's all in there. Flat plate organ, it's not supposed to be a self-focus. It's supposed to be about personal growth, through selflessness, but in a free world, not slavery. How do we free the world from jealousy because of material? And I agree with him. Sharing truth sets us free, and that's why we're doing this. And then I said, check out this video on the self. Okay, so Ken is very, very, very smart. And a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be showing today, I'm just new at it. I'm a beginner. I'm a student, but I want to share with you my understandings. So if anybody has an interest, you might want to look. It is really, really enlightening, all right, illuminating, so to speak. He's not mentioned Jesus yet. And I just put in, Jesus is He is us. The Christ is within. We've heard that many times. I mean, Santos said it many times. And you'll see it with my presentation today. The walk path of life is to walk into the footsteps of Christ that we know of. The universal force, God, whatever groups call this, has been eternally left in the sky, i.e. the covenant. So everything is there. The philosophia, everything to do with phi, it teaches you everything about who we are. And we're supposed to walk in the Christ within, we're supposed to walk in that footpath. So
yes,
the Bible is a story about us and our journey here on this earth. It's been twisted a little bit, right? But when you look at it, they're just literary stories of what we're supposed to learn about.
Yeah.
You want to jump in? You want to say something, Karen?
No, I'm just agreeing.
Okay. The prophet of Mazzaroth, of Adam, or the zodiac, and its messianic significance. So I looked at that link. I agree with what I've learned, that Virgo is a beginning sign, and that I would read it. So I did read it, and I don't recall offhand, but it was a good, interesting article. Somebody just gave me some kind words. Thank you very much.
Right. Did you think a while ago that you'd be reading, like working all this out?
No. No, hence why I know, like, ask me this 5 years ago, and I would have told you the earth is round and get out of here. What are you talking about? Don't give me that crap. I'm getting that from my kids now, right? But that's the whole thing, right? That's why we know we're going through an illumination. It's cyclical. It's unavoidable. So sand is what? Jesus Jones. There are so many thoughts on this, and we'll soon find out. Soon enough, sorry. I only shared some thoughts of others. I'm still on the fence of what sand is, because when I said sand may just be petrified trees, right? So, but like I said, I'm still on the fence on that. Don't we ascend when we die? I say yes, we do, but the level of ascension is based on us being cohesive, i.e. one love. It is to do with the Akashic Records. I've done some studying, but I need to do more. It all fits with magnetism. You'll see more of it today. But I'm a true believer that we're in this primordial egg together, and we'll keep going in and out, in and out, in and out, till we all learn our lesson that we all got to get along in this sandbox, so to speak. And that's when we ascend to a higher level, not just an intermediate level, like I think people call it. What's that called? It's in the Bible where you go halfway and you're waiting for a decision. I'm drawing a blank on that, but if it comes to me, I'll repeat it.
Sorry, what was that again? Explain that again.
Well, between heaven and hell, what's it called?
Purgatory.
Purgatory. So purgatory, I never researched it, but I'm visualizing something like that. That while we come in and out in this infinite realm, we until we all get it right and we bring Eden back, right? Raising Eden, right? We just keep going to purgatory and back and come down. It's beautiful in purgatory. It's just, it's just something that we have to do until we go. We're getting a complete God experience, and every one of us is an atom of that God. Until we all can be one, we just keep going back and forth. There is no end. So it's beautiful. It's nice to know that we're not random, right? And we're not going anywhere. There is no end. So, but we got to do it right and still follow the 10 Commandments, of course, commandments. We need sound healing devices. I agree. There's several awesome people that are bringing this together. The sounds are in music, vibrations, minerals, thoughts, images, plants, planets, light. So any one of those things, just good images in your brain is doing the exact same thing as listening to music, listening to a bell, drums, whatever that is. It's the images that you allow in your brain that forms your world and forms your feelings. So that's why Kathy and I don't watch TV anymore. We'll watch a comedy, but all that other stuff, no, man, they're playing with your psyche.
Don't watch the television because you really, really don't know if any of it's real.
And not only that, it cannot be real in your mind. It's your world. It really, really is. So it's a law of attraction. What do you want to bring in? That's part of our God lesson. How much do you want to let in? Whatever you imagine, you will get. I am, I imagine. And you've split apart that beautiful word into letters, then you can understand it more. Okay. If all the information comes out from Earth is stored in our bodies as we live, how can we possibly take it with us when we die? As all the memories are stored in the water in our body, I think. I said both the information is stored in the ether, heaven, God, etc. You are correct in saying the water holds it all. The water is synonymous with the ether, heaven, God, etc. So yeah, there's nothing ever lost.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So with that, I'm going to switch over. I'm going to stop sharing and go on to another screen, Karen.
Yeah, sure. You're okay at it, aren't you? So, yeah. Hey, Indigo Dave's in there. Wide Awake's in there. There's loads of people in there. Marilyn, Jason, Shavite, Clive, Sultan, Red Squirrel, Marilyn. Artist is there. Jason. I said everybody. I can just see. Leah's there. Welcome. Yeah, you are sharing.
All right. Okay, so I'm not really looking at the comments, right, Karen? So, but like I said, I'll do the same thing. I'll go back and answer questions and try to post it in a different format, see if it stays. So yeah. Today I'll just talk a little bit about philosophy, right? Or philosophia. If you split apart the word phi, because each letter is a word, remember I said that last time. The P is primordial. The H is the infinite. H is the 8th letter. It's the throne. It's coming in and out of the ether, right? Our Akashic records. So H is infinite and I is creation. The little dot on top that's creation, right? So it's primordial, infinite creation. And that's where we're at. Let me get over here. So I'm going to be talking about monad. This is all the stuff that I'm learning from Ken. And this is all Plato's, Pythagoras, the Platonists, all right? The Greeks, the Indians, they called it monad, okay? The all one, the indivisible, all right? Monad, right? Now look at here, on this wheel here. That's why I'm still sticking with these letters in here. And they're just glyphs. They're a step of different glyphs that have gone through the ages. So the English language is very, very close to one of the last steps or first steps of creation and glyphs and symbology. So when you look, there's your M and N, like I talked about last night, the 13th in the middle, right? And like we talked about, there's only 12 zodiac signs proven by the phi and philosophy, right? So there you have the M-O-N-A. There's your Mona, and D is time, all right? Because 4, like Ken Wheeler says, if you notice 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, there's no 4 here. The 4 only shows up here, which is the 4th letter, David, right next to 3 and a 1 and a 4. All right, so 4 means time. Time doesn't really exist. So there's your monad. So now we're going to get into a little bit of philosophy. So this is all comes from Ken's understanding of doing all his readings and deciphering of all the ancient scripts. So the 7 sections of totality: the monad, which is the all; the eidos, which is reflections; the nous, intellect; the matter, manifest shadow; mimesis, the unmanifested shadow; the psyche, the soul; the gnosis, and the indefinite. Now bear with me here, because this is going to be, we're going to show you, I don't want to call it math, but ratios on how this works with phi. And when you look at it, it just makes logical sense. Again, I'm new to this, so bear with me. All right? So remembering that 1 and 0 is phi, right? The glyph 1 on top of the 0 is the glyph of phi. And remember, all these numbers represent 1 and 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 0, which is 0 meaning the heaven and 1 being manifest to us with a relationship to phi. And phi is your expansion, the 1.618.
All numbers, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So when you do Plato's divided line, I went over that last time. I'm going to do a little bit next on one of my other creations that I do, because I'm working on it right now. But these are all ratios of 1, phi, 1 over phi, okay, 1 minus 1 over phi. And when you look at all these, you'll get 5 sets of each one. You'll get 5 sets of 1 minus 1 over phi. You get 5 sets of 1 over phi. And I'll explain what each one of these mean in a moment. And then you'll get 4 of the 0.23, so 606. Well, there's a reason why there's 1 missing, and that's the agnosis indefinite. And it's very coincidental that this is the 7th section of totality, because every number is divisible by 360 in a circle except for the number 7. So we'll call it the face of God, if you will, the unknowing, the indefinite, right? So it's all here in this math. It's all there. And as you can see, this is the golden triangle, 1, 1, and phi. And now, here's how it goes. Here's how it comes about. So this is the walk coming from heaven, right? The monad, the all, the eidos. Okay, so it starts splitting. It has a reflection. And it calls a nous, which is part of the intellect, the indefinite dyad. And then it splits, okay, into these beautiful sections, right, of 1 over phi. So it's coming out. It's coming out to start. It's not manifest yet. So this is the unmanifest in matter and mimesis. So both of these are shadows. They're called shadows, okay? Mimesis, look at the word mime. This is another reflection. This is the shadow. This is matter. This is what we can see, right? And then the third stage, the third hypostasis, no, the 1, 2, 3. So you got 3, 7, you got 5s, okay? And there's the being on phi. So the matter, what we see, our soul, and our reflection of God, right? So this is the walk path of philosophy in physics, using numbers, and metaphysics, using terminology. Any questions before I move on?
Hey, any questions in the chat room? Well, you've got some good people in there tonight listening.
Right. Like I said, this is all new to me, but I want to start sharing this because I feel it's really important. These 2 years that are going by, and with the astrological events that's happening, the major one is Pluto being conjunct with Saturn, Father Time, right? and Pluto sending down amazing amount of energies. So the karmic value is there. It's going to be, it's a 2-year process. It started in January 2019. It peaks at January 2020, and then it ends January 2021. So people are going to feel some things, and it's going to be weather on the outside, weather on the inside, both for us physically and weather on the outside. So it's going to be delivering some beautiful things. For those that are unknowing and want to be truthful, they're fine. The people that know the truth and are doing good with it, they're going to be fine. The people that know that they're lying and don't know the truth, okay, they have a chance. But the people that don't know, know what they're doing and are lying and know the truth, those people, their karmic value might be a little bit different than ours. I don't know, but we'll see. It's going to be very, very interesting. And when people want to start putting on TV that it's going to be doomsday and everything else, don't let that get to you, because that's what you attract in your mind if you want it. And that's all part of this structure of delivering what you want to do with your life. And it really, really is important on how and what you let vibrate your body, whether it be images, music, confrontations, whatever. You got to keep it positive, because it's more fun when it's positive anyway. Did any questions come up here?
You've understood it as well, or what it means. It's even better.
Right. And I'm trying to understand this more and more, but it's all very fitting. These ratios are real. Like, this is not just a picture. Like, there's 10 dots here. Okay. So there again is that 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ken's logic on how this forms, I am learning more. I want to be able to articulate it better. It's tough to follow with these different words, right? So I'm putting it into a totally different format that he has it, so I can present it another time. But there's a reason why there's 10. We go from 1 to 2 to 3 and to 4. Most people out there are trying to put that on an equilateral triangle. Well, you'll never get to this. You'll never get to phi. You'll never get to this circle. You'll never get to, sorry for making this swing all over the place. You'll never get to the real meaning of how everything meets together, how it explains magnetism, how it explains the motions of, and I'll get into this in a minute, how it explains all the motions of the planets, how it explains everything. It explains everything. There is nothing left out. There is nothing. And just go read Ken's book. He'll show you how tornadoes are formed. It's all related to fields and phi and how everything comes out from the
ether. So we can manipulate then, in other words.
Right. Well, and I don't think it's conspiracy. I think it's like going into dark ages. Everybody finds a piece of, somebody said it best today. I wish I could re-articulate it. Like, he found a piece of wood, right? And he said, this is the best boat you can ever have, right? Because that's all he had at the time. And then people run with it. So I can understand that, and I can sympathize with that, and I can forgive that, because a lot of people are trying to go with what they know or what somebody knows. And if there's no other knowledge, then you can't pick and choose. So people run in different directions. So that's how I see all the separatists happening in this whole world, is the unknowing who to follow, right? Then they give us all these mythical people, Moses, Jesus, all these ones, which are just literary stories of what the path we're supposed to be doing. And this is the path. This is absolutely the path. To me, there's no question, because I'm already doing the math. I've drawn all these things. I've drawn them to scale to make sure it fits. All right. I'm just using his textures for time, because I haven't made mine pretty enough to go over it. But I've done the math, and it all fits. And it's not math, really. It's just ratios. It's so simple.
Yeah, it's really simple when you know how to do it.
Yeah, right. So, and that's why I want to keep sharing it, because I know there's going to be people out there that can do it. And if you grab this, and if you want to do it, but at the end of the day, this all makes sense. If you already know, I know I'm good. I know I can share truth, and all I do is share love. God bless you. You're there. You're there. You don't need to know why. I don't need to know the math. But people say, well, why do you need to know the math? Well, because I want to know that what I'm being told is truth. I want to know it. right?
Yes, you're on that, what do you call it? That surge for truth anyway.
Yeah, which I found it. I mean, to me, I found it. It's there. It's beautiful. I already know I can do things with images that are amazing. Things come into my life. I can talk with animals with images, believe it or not. From a fly to a cat, all right, to a dog. I can make them come over to me, sit down, jump up on my lap without even looking at them. Just by imagining them do it, feel good about it, picturing them on there and pretend like they're already on my lap. And they'll come over and jump on. It's all about images. Your whole life is based on the images you allow in your brain. And it's a form of communication. That is part of the, when you think about somebody and they call you, we can read each other's minds. That's a collective consciousness. And it's getting stronger with the illumination. And that global warming word, right? No, we're getting illuminated. It's awesome. Rejoice, man. I don't go to church. This is church. To me, this is church. Talking like this is church. Vibrating people in a good way with no reasons. I don't sell anything. I don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to share truth.
I just wish a few more people would be more illuminated.
Well, that takes all of it. Well, Karen, because of you, right? You're doing the right thing. You're helping people get illuminated, right? You're helping people know the truth, find the truth. You're doing it every day. All of your work, you're sharing truth. That's a beautiful thing. It's awesome.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, bless you. So, all right. Well, I'm going to take this guy down. And we're going to throw up. There's a cartoon version that Ken made. I'm pretty sure he did because I couldn't find this anywhere else. All right. So here's the monad. This is where the illumination comes in. The first hypostasis. Second hypostasis. The reflections in the nous. So there's a first separation, right? And there's 1 over phi, the fire. So that can create the shadows. Well, then there's and this is all just literal, right? Literary story. There's a wall, so you can't see the shadow of the unmanifested psyche, and then a puppet. And this is good. This would be the Ankh. You know the symbol for the Ankh? Looks like Venus with a circle on top of it. All the ancients are carrying one around. And they're showing them all in heaven. That's showing them all in heaven. They're hanging on to it in the Akashic records. My turn next. I'm coming with my Ankh. All right? That's where it is. And there's where you get the mimesis, the mime, which is the unmanifested, and then the matter, the manifest, right? And that's where you get the phi. So phi means the expansion. We're expanded from one, right? We go to expanse. And that's where that 12 number comes in, that beautiful 12 number 144 with phi, which is all relatives of 3s and 4s, right? So,
Claudio, just before you go on, there is a question for you. Clive would like to know, ask Claudio if he can throw light on the 3 days of darkness rumor. Pardon the pun.
3 days of darkness?
Rumor. I think with the sun or the moon, isn't it?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've not heard that one. There's going to be a lot of rumors going out there. I like hearing them because I'm studying astrology quite a bit, because I'm taking major events and looking at them. I'm not looking so much at personal events, but major events I am. There is Diversity J on YouTube. She just did it when she's showing the sunspot, all right? And the sunspot goes around in circles, so she's tracking it, just like the other brother there. I'm trying to remember his name. Teeth of the Lamb, I believe. Yeah, Teeth of the Lamb. He's showing how the moon jumps as it's rotating. It rotates and it jumps. He watches the Sea of Crisis. So there's a procession. There's a procession. There is if you want to call it a retrograde of the sun and the moon happens as well, because there's something in there, because they're spinning just like everything is spinning, just like a magnet with its precession, like a gyroscope. So as those come around, they do different light or different absence of light. Well, there is really no absence of light. There's just different colors of light, right? Some that we can see, some that we can't see, the yin and the yang. The yang is obviously the one we see because it's got the G in it, right? 7 colors of the rainbow, 7th letter. So Yeah, I haven't heard about that 3, but I do know that the sun has a sunspot right now. They were calling for some crazy weather. Somebody told me that today, but we didn't see any here where we're at in Florida.
Somebody that comes on our channel, he lives in Mexico, he was monitoring them, and he reckoned that if for you that spot is dead in the center, you're going to get an earthquake.
I remember you telling me that, Karen, because that's as soon as I heard Diversity J, as soon as you said she just posted it, it happened this morning. So go over to it and see that beautiful sunspot. So I'm going to throw that up.
And it was in the middle, was it?
No, it's off to the east side. When you're looking in the south, look, it's off to the east side of it. And right beside there right now is...
well, maybe it was dead center somewhere else, and that's where the earthquake got. Maybe they weren't in the center of the earthquake.
Yeah, it could be that. 100%, Karen. 100%. 100%. I just, yeah. Yep. Because I know that right now, Eris, Hygeia, and Uranus are right beside the sun on that side.
Right.
So is it doing the same thing like the moon shadow? You know what I'm saying? Is it those 3 guys that are doing it? I don't know, but those are the type of things that I'm studying and following, which is awesome, and I love to share because there's other people out there that are doing the same. It just helps with learning about the reality and the truth, and it's all beautiful.
Yes, so I like your enthusiasm, Claudio.
Yeah, well, you know what? The beautiful part is being able to learn from people that have this knowledge.
That's what we're lacking a bit as a whole, is a bit of enthusiasm. It's gone a bit flat, as we were saying. People like you've got enthusiasm. It's nice to hear.
Right. So at this point, which I forgot to do right at the beginning, is to thank all these beautiful people like I've done in the past. So I got to add Diversity J to that. So to all these beautiful people, I thank them because this is where I'm learning from, and I'm sharing truth that I've learned from these people.
Yeah, right? You've seen the puzzle, haven't you? It's a puzzle.
Yeah, it is, and we can't have it all. If anybody thinks they can figure it out on their own, they can't. That's not the way it works. That's why we got to come together as one. We played together in the sandbox like we were when we're kids. That's when we win. That's when we win. So, if there's any other questions, I'm just going to move on to something that I'm learning from David Cochrane from some of his videos. I'm just putting in a little bit different format. Just I want to share it. I won't be saying much about it, but just want to share it in case it clicks with somebody.
I think they're talking about what we're talking about in the chat room rather than actually asking questions. But you can see the chat afterwards if you want. Damn, you're someone who's actually asking for questions and they're actually talking to themselves, but about what we're talking about.
Right. Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to switch over.
Hey.
And so when we grab, so that we know that the pentagram is what forms, and I should have pointed that out in this. I'm going to go back for a second here. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah. You can see the pentagram here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See the pentagram?
Yeah.
Those 5 dots. I'm going to draw over top of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's the pentagram. Sorry for being so thick. And that's a reality. This is a true, real pentagram based on those phi ratios. I've drawn it. Okay, so this is how everything splits in life. I just wanted to say how important that is, and how important it is that we need to be following that and learning from it. For those that need to know, and see, I look at it because if I can help somebody say, hey, next year your house is going to be wiped out by a flood, or a tornado or a huge hurricane, those are the type of things we should be knowing about, that we need to be moving, right?
Yeah. It does seem really crazy when they do have warning systems, even though I'm sure you can't warn for all of them. But in Mexico ones, they weren't warned at all. They just happened. Nothing worked.
Right.
Nothing predicted some of these earthquakes last year.
Right. And I, like I said, I've already predicted the one hurricane that was hitting North Carolina. I just needed to, I know what luminaries are involved. I just needed to know what city it was going to hit, and I did not look what day or what hour. And I was within 2 hours of when it hit that city, looking at the luminaries, and namely Eris, Venus, okay, which Eris and Venus are totally related to 5, and we're going to see a little bit more. Eris, Venus, obviously the sun and the moon, and then Neptune, Hygeia, and Uranus. And I'm finding that for location-wise, it all has to do with 108 degrees, which is 108 degrees is the angle of course, in a pentagram in the golden triangle, because there's 3 golden triangles in a pentagram. That was from my last video, right? I'm trying not to be redundant, so if somebody wants to ask questions, they could always go back and look at the other one that I did for Karen, or for the whole group. So these pentagrams, sorry. The rotation of the, excuse me. The rotation of this pentagram is important. Okay. As you can see, the way things count here. For example, this one here, we have 0, right? Can you guys see my cursor?
Move your cursor. Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
I'll see it on the Hangout. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to do this. I'm going to.
You're changing the figures,
Yeah,
are you?
0, 2. Let me do it this way. 0, 2, just like the car tire. 4, 6, and 8. Okay, back to 0. So this one did a counterclockwise motion going round. All right. So going from 0 to 2 is counterclockwise. So up here, we just track that from 0 to 2 was 144 degrees, right? Change the opacity here. And then, or clockwise, 216. So, and it's a pentagram, and it comes from the cardinal point A for alpha. So, again, what does this mean? It does play a factor in when you're watching the retrogrades, like Venus. Venus goes retrograde every 144 degrees, and the sun is conjunct Venus every 72 degrees. So we know that Venus and Eris are related to 5. We know that Venus and Eris are playing a major factor in weather. So it's playing a factor in weather on the outside. It's going to definitely play a factor in the weather on the inside. And I can tell you this, my wife, since we last were on, that I watched as her Venus and Eris, and when the sun was conjunct Uranus going through her natal chart, she was sick for a month, very ill for 3 weeks. I called when it was going to start dying off, and then it lasted a month. Other people went to hospital and everything else. I don't know, whatever they took for their body. We just made sure she ate clean, drank a lot of water, took a lot of ginger, and took her cannabis oil. All right? So her symptoms were far less than anyone else's. So when you know that you're going to be stuck with some weather, you might as well prepare for it. Right? So if it's something that's supposed to happen to you spiritually, physically, metaphysically, whatever it is, if you know it, then you know it's a lesson. And then you can start learning from everybody else on what to do and what to take. Obviously, going to the doctor in a hospital, if you have to, you have to. But we just don't believe in it because they're giving you inorganic stuff. Your best probiotics you could ever take is from ginger, raw ginger, right? Raw garlic, because when you slice ginger or garlic, or any root for that matter, it starts giving off antibodies. which vibe with our body, and they help heal you. That goes along with terpenes, whether it's cannabis or any plant. If you can ingest good fats that are extracted into olive oil, do it yourself. It's so simple. Those are the type things. And that's what I'm hoping this is going to lead me to, because I'm also studying alchemy and healing herbs. So every planet has a vibration, again, and knowing what's coming at your way and what you can take for it is the reason why.
I just realized maybe it wasn't actually planet, it was planted.
Yeah, exactly. Planted. Yeah. So if you catch what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point out that, you go up to the next one, and then now you can see that it goes 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So it goes around a circle. You move over to the next one, and then it goes clockwise this time. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So there's a shift. And then when you move up to the third one, well, you can see that I'm now touching another cardinal sign. See where the zero's at? And then things change. So there are 4 different, every one of these is totally different to each other. And in astrology, there's 4 different states, right? So these all play a factor, and these numbers all play a factor in that. That's as far as I've taken it now, but I know I'm gonna keep learning more and more, and how the plants come in here, how the planets are involved in this, which we know Venus already is. And I know there's a lot of guys that are out there that are doing amazing things with geometry. So I'm trying to share this with them as well, so they can start, because those guys can think real quick, like Matt Jerome, what they can do with geometry on top of things like this. Because I'm going to be putting all the different 4 on there. The what are they called? The Platonic forms, the 5 Platonic forms. So, and that's all I have for today as far as that goes, other than telling you my story if anybody was interested. Any questions?
Yes, we've got that bit to do as well, haven't we? The planets.
I'm going to stop sharing so I can see the screen.
Vibration, methinks. Chillster. Hi, Chillster. Oh, are you? Okay, I'll just take you off share then for a moment.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
It's very interesting. Thank you very much. What does your wife make of it all then?
Oh, she's right in there.
Yay. So what, are you looking up the questions in the chat room?
Yeah. Oh, there's a big delay there, eh?
No, well, between us, you mean? Yeah, I think there is a couple of seconds. You were talking and I was talking. Yeah, you forget that sometimes, that there's a few seconds time delay.
Okay. Yeah, she's right in on it. I mean, she's not going as deep of a dive on the math into it, but she understands it. You know what I'm saying? She asks me the same question. What do I need to do with it? Well, I understand what you're doing, and the same thing is because I want to take it to the next level of healing. I mean, we're already healing people with cannabis, right? Cannabis oil. We make it from whole plant, organic, and because of its green color and 5 leaves, I don't know if that means anything, but it sure seems to be that way. It's a god plant. I mean, we do this for free, and we reversed pancreatic cancer in 3 months. My brother just had a success story. The amount of people that were healing, I don't want to call it not healing. I'm not afraid to say it. People that are healing, reversing all the things that are wrong with them without taking any of the chemicals or any of the scanning and all that stuff that people they just got to believe in themselves and in the plants, and they'll heal, right? So
yeah, not taking the chemicals.
Right. I mean, Kathy was going to go for double knee surgery, and the cannabis healed her.
That's good then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're listening to us in the chat room, to be honest here.
Yep. Yep.
Well, do you want to tell us about your story? Like, what hit you then?
Yeah, I've actually sent some to Sheeps and Neats. I'm just reading saying I've been communicating with Sheeps and Neats on that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
No, not smoking. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, Leah Templar, smoking can. No, you got to organic. Sorry, you got a homegrown, full plant. You need stems, leaves, roots, seeds, bud, all of it extracted into olive oil, and you put it in a bath of water, so the water doesn't touch the olive oil. You just heat it up, and you can go on my website, udemy.com/oil extract, and I show people how to make it for free. I do have a video that I'm trying to make. We do everything for free. Just watching people heal and feel better is all the things we ever need.
hey.
Yeah, you got to ingest it as good fats. I got proof from Pharmacopoeia, Italy. They did a study over there comparing all the different methods, and olive oil was the best, qualitatively, quantitatively, safety.
Mm.
I see that, John. John Middleton, Grow My Cannabis. Yeah. It's real simple. Throw a seed in the ground. If you got good soil, leave it alone. Water will take care of it. Can you put the link up now, please? Are you talking about for the cannabis?
Are you, Red Squirrel, are you talking to someone in the chat room, or are you talking to Claudio?
I threw it on there anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, olive oil is really good for the stomach. Most of our issues stem from the stomach. People like using coconut oil. That's fine, but coconut oil is more for some of the organs than it is for the stomach. Oh, JT saying that the link that you have in your
Oh, I've copied it over. If you look up his name, it'll take you straight.
just type in Udemy on YouTube. It'll be
your name. You're the only one there. Sorry, I'll put it right next time. Yeah, sometimes when I was copying it over, it obviously hasn't copied it over correctly when I was making the post.
URC Childs. If Venus is 5, then one number is Mars. That's a good question. I'm still working on that. Thanks, Clive.
Right, social tonight.
Yeah, cannabis will be legal everywhere soon. They have no choice, because can you imagine the karma that's coming to those people that are stopping it? I think they're more worried about people that are still, if you got hundreds of thousands of people that are going to be angry with you for making it legal, and those politicians aren't going to do what's right. So they're at their crossroads right now.
Yeah. It will be good. Things need to change rather drastically, to be honest.
Right. As far as CBD oil, from all the researching that I've done, they're trying to brainwash people with the word CBD. I understand CBD exists, and I understand its value. But if you don't have it with the whole plant, then its ability to do the proper healing, it'll kind of just be like taking care of side effects. Because if you watch the little girl there, I forget her name, I was following her for years and years and years, CBD oil would only take seizures down from 3 a day to 1 a week, and that was great. Meanwhile, the ones that did full cannabis extract oil, whole plant, right, they went 3-4 years without ever having one seizure again. So CBD is to me is a brainwash. They already have synthetic CBD out there. I've had people come to my house saying, I'm on this CBD. It's not doing anything for me. You look into it. It's synthetic. There's all kinds of patents for synthetic THC, synthetic CBD. If you're looking to heal, you want to do it yourself, you can call me and contact if you got any questions. It's so simple to do. It's really, really easy to do. If you can't get whole plant, just bud is fine too. You just cut the ratio in half because it's going to be strong. And for people that don't like the high, you just keep it under boiling water less. We do one for 1 hour. So we have elderly on 1 hour during the day and 6 hour at night. And I know I've done a 10 hour, and I saw God taking a teaspoon of that. So you know that at the 6 hour, we're not still converting all the THC, because you want both THCs. You want the converted and the not converted.
You sound like a modern day physician. I can't say it now, doctor.
No, don't say that. No, don't say that. Remember, Matt Jerome said that's rot cod backwards.
That's what?
You never heard that one? Matt Jerome, doctor backwards is rot cod. Rot your cod.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's horrible.
I love doctors. I love doctors. I love everybody. It's just all on what you know, right?
You can't use half of anything because it means something else.
Yeah. What they're not using astrology, so they have data that shows that it's good for some people, but the reason why there is a statistical curve, right, is because you can't heal people with a different astrological chart. Don't forget, when a doctor comes in and reads your chart, that used to be an astrological guy coming in and reading your chart. Now he comes in and reads how much meds you have taken, right? The chart should be your astrological chart and what plants you're taking to help with the symptoms of what you're feeling with those vibrations.
Mm.
And that's our buddy Hippocrates, right? His famous saying says something to that effect. If you're a doctor that's not using astrology, then you're not a doctor, because a doctor needs astrology to heal people.
Hmm. So, what about your story then?
My story. Okay.
Yeah.
My parents came from Italy. That whole thing, right? My dad was eating out of garbage pails. And my mom, she was not too bad. She was living in Tuscany in Italy, but of course still very poor. Her dad was in World War I. So I grew up, born in Windsor, Ontario. Couldn't speak a word of English. That's why my English is kind of broken. And then when I went to kindergarten, my parents decided to stop talking Italian at home. So you can imagine they're speaking foreign language at the school and not at home. So English wasn't my favorite number. And now look at me now, right? So going up through that, normal childhood, I guess. 2 loving parents. I was very blessed with that. Got 2 brothers. Everything's good. I went to university. I did that. I made a switch in grade 11. I was smoking marijuana and wanted to quit, but then I got influenced by one teacher in high school, and I ended up going into engineering. I switched all my years into nothing but maths and sciences so I can get accepted. I went to engineering, quit after a month because I'd spent too much time in the pub. I went back again, got married, had a couple kids, worked as an engineer mostly, obviously, and then I ended up going through Chrysler, 25 years. They played the let's pretend we're going bankrupt, let somebody buy us out, got bought up by Fiat, took our pensions away. I'm not looking for sympathy, just giving you stories, because some people don't even get pensions, so I don't deserve one anyway, not compared to everybody else. So anyway, that's what happened through my work life, my education life. Getting illuminated portion happened when my father passed away, and that was probably like 2000, and I should commit this to memory, like 2005, 2006-ish. And I started seeing numbers. I used to wake up every day at 4:44, look at the clock, 4:44 a.m. The union was 4:44.
Yeah, a lot of people sync on time, don't they? That's when it hits, because you think, what is going on?
I started playing lottery numbers, and then nothing would happen. And I started thinking, oh, maybe it's because I got to, I'm getting along with the union, because I dealt a lot with the unions there, and maybe I got to be nicer. I don't know what, miss something, because they were called the 444. And then, so I kept started researching numerology with, what's her name online there? She's in the credit section there. I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but Doreen Virtue. So I started seeing more and more numbers, and I started researching, and that's when I started finding up about Santos. I took ill at the same time when I left my career at Chrysler. I ended up getting arsenic poisoning there, so I ended up leaving there, and that's where I got into between Kathy's health and my health, I got into the cannabis to help heal ourselves, and that's when I learned a lot there. My mother ended up passing away, and that's when I started getting all kinds of lessons now that they're both gone. I mean, you're talking lessons in the sky with clouds waking me up at night, amazing animal experiences waking me up at night without even knowing they're there. Just I knew I had to get up. So I did have an epiphany while I was having an IV here in Florida with vitamin C and B12s and all that, tried to help with the symptoms of arsenic poisoning, which did come from Chrysler, and they still to this day haven't cleaned it up. They're denying it because all the government agencies, they side with the corporation. So I left that one be too. It's part of all my lessons. So I had an epiphany, and I started thinking about Moses, and I knew he wasn't. I never knew he was a real character. Know that I deny it. Didn't know really at that time. Then I started thinking that, man, the 10 Commandments are done in such a negative, a not positive way, right?
Yeah.
I rewrote the 10 Commandments sitting there while I was in IV. I happened to take a couple espresso coffees because my veins would get so constricted because the arsenic makes you really, really cold because your nerves overreact. So in that lounging chair of a they call it an IV cafe, music playing, I took a couple extra espresso coffees because that dilates, and I know I don't have to sit there for long. So instead of 2 hours there, I might make it out in an hour and a half. Well, I also took my cannabis oil, and man, all of a sudden I got really, really high, and it started sucking in that water like really, really fast, right? Music started coming on, telling me to take it easy. I called over the nurse just for fun, and she's going, "Oh, you must be really thirsty," which we know cannabis does healing, right? So cannabis turns on your healing mechanism. That's why I wanted to suck in that water through my veins. So, and that's when I started thinking about the 10 Commandments, and I rewrote them while I was sitting there in a positive way, right? Instead of "thou shalt not steal" is abundance for all. Why should we have an image of stealing if there's abundance? So I did them through, and I got that on my page if anybody's interested, if they want to go read it. So that's what happened to me there, and ever since then, astrology and magnetism, started learning from everybody, and here I am today. I feel great.
How did you find sun and moon then?
How's that?
How did you find sun and moon?
How did I find sun and moon? That's a good question. Oh, no, I was following Santos. I was following Santos and then Ken Wheeler, and then Santos started going on your show, and that's how I found you guys. See, everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you did.
Me too. 100%.
It's nice hearing somebody.
Take care, JT.
You know, you're set in your mind. I don't mean not set to not listen. I just mean you've made a plan. You know what the plan is. A lot of people don't have those anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to help people.
You're so upbeat about it all as well. We need a bit of upbeat injected in right now.
Right. I mean, I'm trying to be, and I'm going to use the word induce. I'm trying to induce people, like family, relatives, friends. I only use positive words. If you want to use a not positive word, just put the word not in front of it, like not good, right? That's not right. So if you use only positive words, which right now I've associated images with them, meanwhile, each letter is a word, right? And they're supposed to be all beautiful glyphs. We have to clear our mind of those. So if you always use positive words, hey, I didn't even know why I was doing it, but I used to do it when I used to teach kids in hockey, right? Always tell them the positive aspect. The coach was always telling the kid, why do you keep going over that blue line? Why are you always offside? Don't go offside. Well, the only thing you're telling him is offside, offside, offside. And he couldn't do it. Well, I pulled him aside one day and I said, hey, buddy. I said, you know what? I says, if you would have just taken your time a little bit, you had an opportunity to score a goal because that guy was waiting for you. If you straddled that line and let him get over first, then you would have got the puck and you would have scored a goal. Lo and behold, next game, he does that and he goes in and scores a goal. It's all powered of suggestion. And so if you're always going to say that not positive words, then you're inviting it. So positive images, positive words, positive vibes. And I got a bunch of people around me saying, you're right, you're right, you're right. Because I'm saying the word good. I'm saying the word well. I'm saying the word right.
What do your kids make of all this then? Your family, your extended family.
My brother, he's all in. My older brother, he's not digging deep because he's got a 5-year-old and he's got a busy life and he's been married 3 times and he's just stuck in a gerbil wheel making money, right? But he's all in. He's seeing numbers. Kathy's seeing numbers. A lot of my friends are starting to see numbers. And to me, that's one of the first signs that you can see people because they're getting tuned in with a vibration, and we're all vibrations, 100%. So the best thing I can tell you is get rid of your bauxite head. Don't take no aluminum in your. Don't take no fluoride because that does cover. Eventually, the sun and the global warming will get through that or whatever light's coming. But that doesn't vibrate yet. That's the pineal gland thing, right? But my kids, they know how positive I am. They always knew me to be positive. They know I'm doing astrology. They don't even hear about flat Earth, which I don't call it flat Earth, right? I call it. We're living on a stationary plane. The Earth ain't flat because they're trying to picture that whole toroidal field, the whole firmament as flat. So I don't like calling it flat Earth, right? Meanwhile, Earth is the aether, and it is a dielectric plane, and it is flat. But we've been programmed that the whole ball is Earth, which it is when you look at the magnetic field. Yes, it's a ball, but we're living within it. And if anybody wants to go look at Ken's video of where he freezes a magnet in a glass of ice, and you can see the water is still not frozen, and you got a beautiful ice wall all the way around and a firmament on top, provable and repeatable. We're living in a primordial egg, and you can see the egg, and the egg is the shape of 1 to 5. You can go look that up too. So we're in this beautiful cosmic primordial egg together. And it ain't the end.
What does that mean? Does that mean that we're half concave then? Well, we're concave.
No, we're living inside it.
Right.
Our sphere around us is an egg.
Oh, right. Okay. The bigger picture. Okay.
Right. Every torus field, right, is in the shape of the hypertrochoid, right? Hypertrochoid pattern, torus field, or Ken's drawn it, Santos has drawn it. But when you look at him freeze a magnet and you go look at that, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg did. 100%. The egg came from the monad.
Wow.
Came from manifest.
The first egg.
Well, think about the word man. Manifest. And mano in Italian means hand. You got 5s on each hand. You can manifest with your hands. You can manifest with your mind.
Yes, a lot of it is your mind, isn't it? That's what manifests it. If you put it from one to the other, subconscious to conscious,
Right, and which is looking at Ken's philosophia, right? It's really, really cool. I mean, those are different words, right? But they all mean the same thing.
Yeah, I think people are a bit shocked if they actually start breaking. Those that are into it, that's different. But those that don't and then stumble across etymology, and breaking down words and seeing what they really have put together.
Right. But who heard of IDOS before? I mean, we heard of DOS operating system, right? It's an intelligence, right? There's IDOS. There's the word DOS in it, right? So you can remember EI, or like AI, artificial intelligence, and a DOS. So it's just, and then the mime. We've always heard of a mime and what a mime does, right? So people know, they have bits and pieces. They're all around us. How they take it, there's little twisted truths in there because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Hope I'm not jumping all over the place.
Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Truth.
But I guess in a summary thing, if you believe, sorry, go ahead.
Claudio, you can't go back to the Kenya and pretend we're living on a ball.
Yeah, no, of course you cannot. No, we're manifest from the ether, right? Think about it. The umbilical cord in your mom. You're born inside an egg, and that umbilical cord comes from the ether.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Akashic records. That's the throne. It's in the Dendera. All the ancients knew. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Think about it. We're going back to this beautiful place. Whether we got to learn again and try 100 times, it doesn't matter. The whole thing is like, yeehaw, let's party, let's have a good time and just love one another, but create abundance. The reason we're at where we're at is because of lack of abundance. And that's from the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages, plants stopped growing, right?
What was it like when you started putting it all together and realised it was all fitting one after the other on your key, universal key?
Oh, it's awesome. It's absolutely amazing. Because to me, I'm that type of guy that always liked to, when I went to school, I couldn't do it except for with maths. I had to go all the way back to the beginning, and I wanted to understand how it got created. That's the only way I'm going to remember it, because I'm not good at memorizing. I need to calculate. I need to like figure things out and understand it, right? It's just, to me, that's how you know truth, right? Like, if I can, like, the logic that Ken talks about, the Platonic logic, retroduction, via negativa, being able to slice back the onion, get back to the root, right? It's a beautiful thing. And one of the things he teaches about Platonic logic is the different ways of the needle in the haystack. There's all kinds of deductions, this, that, and that, but the Platonic deduction is you have a needle and you have hay. Light a match to the hay, you'll have the needle. So when you start thinking retroductively, which I'm new at, I'm a beginner, and you start going back and back and you start looking at it and you start looking for truth and you find out the source, and the source is beautiful. Some people believe in a source. They believe in God. They know they're taken care of. They're positive thinkers. Their life's going to be beautiful. They go try to share the truth. They try to share abundance. They're good. They don't need to know all this. They don't. But I call it, the ancients called this magic. Okay? You can split apart the M and the A and the G and the I and the C. It's magic. It's teaching people the truth. So sometimes when you can show free energy, for example, if I can show you a magnet, a piece of copper spinning, you're going to go, what the heck is that? Well, that's magic, showing you what existence is about, where it all comes from, and you can actually, if you can actually explain it, then that's magic. If you can heal somebody, that's magic, right? People start listening to you more when you're doing magic. Of course, the magic tricks now, everybody wants to go see magic, but it doesn't give you any truth. It's all just, hidden tricks. Well, magic is supposed to be truth.
Yeah.
Right? From the mother, the MA, right? The water.
Yeah.
So, Red Squirrel, I've been thinking about the ark thing. And I keep getting all these different signs, and I know I got to go research them. So I looked up the story of Noah's Ark, right? And somehow he kept throwing a dove and a crow out to go see and look for dry land. Well, the metaphor there is we're on the dry land. We are on the ark. This is the ark. We've come to the Dark Ages, right? And it's kind of like coming out of the Ice Age, so to speak. There is no water. There's a lot of water out there, but there's nothing really growing, so it's the manifest that we're waiting for. So the dove and the crow are here with us. They haven't left to go tell the monad that we stopped eating each other. We stopped, because think about it. Everybody keeps asking, how are all those animals and everybody going to get along on that ark? Well, how are they getting along on this ark? This is the ark. We're floating on the ark. How are we getting along? So that's again back to the primordial egg and us all getting back together. When we're all done, the dove is going to go bring back to the monad a leaf carrying it in his mouth, saying that things are growing again. So that's what the story about the ark is in my mind. I did a lot of research in there, and you got to read between the lines, right? But I've had a lot of doves around me, had a lot of crows, and they're cawing and they're doing all kinds of things at me. And then something woke me up, and I had to go look at to why. I can't remember exactly why, but then I knew I had to go read about Noah's Ark, and then I seen the dove and the crow. So all those biblical writings are there as lessons for us to learn. But we are on the ark. I don't know if anybody's seen that one Indian guy. I think it's a Canadian. No, he's an American Indian. Doesn't matter. We're all Indians, just from a different land. Talk about Turtle Island, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And when you listen to that story, if I can find it, I'll share it with you, Karen. And the story about the turtle and how we're extracting the oil, being its blood, and the head is over here, and we're just, and that turtle really is the ark.
Very Native American that is then.
What's that?
Very Native American then.
Yep. When I see it, I have respect for everybody, and I respect the American Indians because I know what happened to them, but it's happened to every native Indian from every land. We're all native. It's all one land. And I'm an Indian. I should be able to go to Italy and say I'm a native Indian, and I don't need to pay taxes, and I don't need any permits, right? But we already know that. I've studied the law. I know exactly the law. I know exactly how to get out of that conundrum. I've studied it, researched it, already put in my documents with the Governor General of Canada, telling that I'm done with them because they're just a corporation. Corporation of Canada is listed on the Security and Exchange Commission. Its mailing address is Washington, D.C. Sorry. Its corporate address is Washington, D.C., and its mailing address is in Ottawa, Canada. So they're just run by the bank. We know that. So, but anyway, I didn't really want to get into that side of it. But truth is, we're all native, and that whole house of cards is coming down. I know it. Follow a lot of people that are doing the same thing with learning about the truth and sciences, right? Like the flat Earth, quote unquote, movement. There's a lot of people doing the exact same thing with politicians. You can, and I don't want to get political right now. So, but that house of cards is falling. I can see it.
Oh, well, something needs to change, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is changing, though. I can see the signs. I can definitely see the signs.
Yeah. Good. We need a bit of, what do you call it, upbeat stuff right now.
Yeah. And my recommendation to anybody is minimize what you put in your brain. And Ken Wheeler says it best, the noose and the self. When we go watch a movie, what we're doing to ourselves is not our path. That shouldn't be in our path. You're exposing yourself to images that you don't really need. You're walking somebody else's path on their life. They're here for a journey, and it's their journey. It's like the police and all the police going to places that things already happened. You know what I'm saying? The police are good. Don't get me wrong. I want to be righteous about that. Police are very, very good, and they will come and protect you if you need it. But it's all on your path. It really, really is. But watching somebody else's path is not where you don't want to jump on that path. That's not your path. So stick with positive stuff and look for the lessons that come in your way. And right now I find people, the more and more they have not wants, because a not want is a want. If you say, I don't want this, you'll get that. Because you're saying not doesn't count. Like not good. So if you say, I don't want that, you will get that. Because you're telling yourself that. Just like the kid, I don't want to go outside. You're saying I want to go outside.
So best not to ask for anything then.
Oh no, ask for good things. Ask for good things and keep only good images in your mind. And I'm at the point now when people, if they're really, really not positive, I correct them. But not by correcting them. They'll say something and I say, yeah, I know what you mean, not positive yet. You know what I'm saying? If they're using words that are not positive, you can see their whole demeanor is not positive. Because it's all in their vocabulary. It's all in what they watch. It's all in what they see. Because there really only is now, right? Like right now, what's happening to you? Why can't you be positive? There's only now. Anything else is what you're allowing you to come in. And I get that. I was there before. I've been in places that were not good. I had to take meds for that not being good. You know what I'm saying? I've had that in my life too. I got off of them because I was, you know, that famous saying, just think positive. Well, yeah, it's easy for you to say. Been there, but one step at a time. It does work. And I'm watching people do it. I'm watching people change. Watch people say, yeah, you're right.
Mm.
And it doesn't come from me. It's from everybody I learned.
Hmm. Well, you've been learning lots lately, haven't you?
Yeah, well, you know what? I find when you know the truth, it's so invigorating. And when you know that this is not the end, there's no time. It's just Groundhog Day. Every day you wake up, you just jump back in that gerbil wheel if you have to, right?
Gerbil wheel, yeah, it is. That's a really good way of putting it, a gerbil wheel. Not very nice, is it? When you find out what the gerbil wheel's like.
Oh, yeah. Well, you figure going... my life was pretty good up until grade 11 when I switched. So what's that? 11 is what, 16? So from 16 till about... So for about at least 40 years, I've spent in a gerbil wheel.
Yeah,
I threw my engineering ring. I threw my engineering ring away. I threw my engineering diploma in the degree in the garbage.
Junior school was okay. Everything was still okay there. It's when you got to senior school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't go back now, then, can you?
No, there's only forward.
Yeah, I do like what you've learned or what you've found out. It's very interesting, and the fact that did you try those other things? I can't remember what they were now from the other hangout. And you said I said try those, see if they work. I can't remember what it is now.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm trying to remember too because I did look up a couple of them.
Can't think what they were now.
Yeah, me neither. I'll go through my papers here.
Oh, I know. It's Sneaky's wheel.
Oh yeah, yeah. I responded to somebody on the yes, and somebody asked that question too, and I responded to it in the questions, right? Yeah, the Ezekiel's wheel is just all related to the yin and the yang, to me, right?
Yeah. So no wonder they wanted to leave that bit out, though.
Yeah. Well, what you find is that, Karen, it's because now whenever I look at anything, does it fit with what I've learned? It's really easy now to swim through the sea to find the truth, right? Because like people said, what about pi? Well, pi is a subsection of phi. Everything all goes back to that. I mean, we know that all plants, everything grows that way. Our whole anatomy is that way. We got all the different chakra colors. We got all the 12 different, so many words to remember.
Yeah, you've done pretty good. It sounded like you knew what you were talking about today.
Right.
Because it is a lot to take in, isn't it? You've got to remember it.
Yeah, if it's a knowledge and it's so simple and it goes back to the root of phi, then there's nothing else. Then everything just becomes a subset. And yeah, it can make everything, right? And you watch all these people, what they can make with what's the Metatron's cube? It's all in there.
Yeah, did you what was I going to say? It's just gone out of my brain. Oh, it's just completely gone. Yeah, so how long have you actually been doing this then for, Claudio?
Well, I guess the real waking up happened when my mom passed. And she passed 2010. So that's when I first started getting signs, and I could probably write a book on that because they're just, it's amazing. And when somebody has somebody that has passed on, I just give them all those give them all those stories, including one where I had a friend, well, it's really a cousin-in-law, ex-cousin-in-law that passed. He told me he's going to come visit me after I told him all the stories when he passes. And just stories like that. And then he didn't wait. I had him jump into my body, and I thought of him, and this feeling. I'm taking a shower, ready to go to the airport to come to Florida, my wife and I. And she told me at the airport, she said, "I didn't want to tell you when you walked in the room, but you know what? I don't know your cousin, but I felt his presence." And I didn't even tell her that I had that feeling. So I knew he jumped in right away. I couldn't shake it. I felt like I was him. I could see his little Buddha belly. Like he wasn't, but just had a little bit of a little, convex shape to his, or concave shape to his belly. And all of a sudden I'm in the shower and I could feel it. I was him. It was incredible. But I thought, no, I brought this on. But I squashed that after, and especially going back there now, I know it was him. 100% know it was him.
Oh.
My mother drops flowers, whether they're stuck on really hard with it. She's dropped flower petals from pictures. She's dropped flower petals from Kathy when I've given her a rose. It's, yeah. I can go on and on and on. They're all so beautiful. So they're there. There's no end. There's one. Why not all get along?
Yeah, no end. There's no end. There's no end down here, so there can't be any end there either.
Yeah, there's not. It's just us. It's just us. I love it. Did you like playing in the sandbox when you were a kid? You had to learn to get along? Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, when it was fun to play outside, you mean?
Yeah. When you didn't think that there was a gerbil wheel. Remember when we used to get off for summer and there was no gerbil wheel? Yeah.
I just think that as adults, and the more you understand it's a lie, those are the days where you could just be a kid and walk around and not worry about anything. And then now with what it puts, the world on your shoulders, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep. But again, it gets back to, at the moment, who's in your life right now, what are you doing, and what's happening to you? It's all good. Anything else you bring inside your now, right? If you take apart the word now, you'll see knowledge, right? You'll see own, because you can only own now. Can't go back in the past, but you invite it. It's up to you. Done there, been there, done that. I only, when images come into my brain, I make them go away. I'm getting really good at that, because that's part of our test. Our part of our test is how good can we let those images go. And don't repeat the images either, because now you're sharing it. You're vibrating the whole ether with that image. And that's what spoils the egg, right? This primordial egg we live in will spoil with all those images and vibrations, right? That's why the light's coming. That's why we're being baptized. That's why, right? So to speak, like not literally, but metaphysically.
Yeah, you got to know who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And that really helps. And, to me, it sounds like as well, even though it sounds complicated, you simplified your life.
It does. Yeah. The more and more that I learn, the more and more it's becoming more and more simple and beautiful. It really is. And when they call the people Illuminati, they can't be. Because if they were illuminated, this world would be beautiful, because they were the first ones that got to turn the banks inside out and start giving abundance.
Claudio, explain that bit about Illuminati then, what your take is on it.
They have no idea. I look at those personalities I have. I've watched a guy take his best friend for, probably close to $500,000, $750,000 by using him. I had a guy that owns a penny stock, through my house, lying through his teeth, stealing everybody's money, and I thought this guy was for real. So they exist everywhere. They live in your neighborhood. They live everywhere. It's just some of them just went all the way and went all the way and went all the way, and they don't know when enough is enough. but there's gonna, like I said, but they're in for a karmic treat. They really, really are.
Yeah.
So those people, they portray as the because they know there's something there. They don't know why. They're just in they're in a boys club that know that, well, if we say this, then someday we're going to be all good because, this is the real truth. So let's just show them. But they don't even know what they're talking about. They have no idea. They can't be illuminated. It's impossible. So they're just our brothers and our sisters that spent too much time in the dark ages, all right? And will be illuminated. There's no escaping it. And the more and more people that have this knowledge, the more and more they get vibrated.
So basically, that's born again, yeah?
That's what, sorry?
Born again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can call it that. I truly believe in reincarnation while you're here.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. I think we're doing part of that's going every day when we come into every time we go to sleep. The old adage of what was that movie called with the those tall blue creatures?
Oh, Fourth Element, whatever it is. Fifth Element, that one?
No. The one where they had the.
Oh, you mean the water one?
The one where the guy is in a wheelchair and he goes in this thing and he comes Avatar. Sorry, Avatar.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people sharing twisted truths, twisted knowledge, right? But in essence, we are doing an avatar, purgatory to here, if you want to call it purgatory, whatever you want to call it. So it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's just got some very ugly people in it.
Not some. There's never many. We got a lack of beauty in some people. Yes, we do.
Not sure if some of them are people to do the things that they've done to us. They can't be people. Sorry, I know in etymology humans and all that, but yeah, same thing. That they obviously haven't got hearts and minds. Not really. They're just, I don't know what they are. It must be entities.
No, I think they're exactly the same as us, Karen.
No, they're humans, but they're like entities. They've got no heart, no soul.
They have a covering over their third eye that doesn't allow them to light up, whether it's self-inflicted or not. It really doesn't matter. But the thing is that with the more illumination coming, it's unavoidable. I don't know if it's one day. There's no such thing as time. I don't know if it's 10 days. I don't know if it's 100 days. If it's 100 years, 1,000 years. I don't know. But I do believe in time travel. See, even Ken says it. The time travel is not like we think. The quicker we get everybody to know the truth, speak the truth, be positive, right? Don't share any images unless they're positive. Only say words that are positive. We jump in time. We don't have to wait for that other person to wake up. And then it's power of numbers, the induction, just like magnets. The more and more, if you got 1,000 people that are positive around a not positive person, they convert really, really quickly. It's no different than me going golfing with 4 good golfers, right? Either they're all going to start doing not good or I'm going to improve.
Yeah.
So that's the way it works. Positive thinking gets Michael Jordan the basketball shot, right? He sees it, he feels it, he hears it, he watches it go through the hoop, he hears the crowd cheer before he even takes the shot. And I've spoke to amateur sports people. They do that. They think the whole thing in their head. They watch the puck go in the net before they shoot the puck. They're imagining, they're using their imagination, they're thinking positive to what they want, right? So it works both ways with what you want and what you don't want. So watch what you ask for, right? Only want the positive.
This universal key, now you've worked out even more, do you think it's changed you again as a person?
Did it change? Yeah, I'm changing every day. Every day.
Yeah, we need to learn every day. If you don't learn, then you wilt.
Yeah,
Don't
every
you?
day I learn because I'm now going after what I know, and when you just start using those keywords, and whether you think you're finding it yourself or it's landing on your lap because the universe is helping you, I think it's a bit of both, and probably more of the latter. Is that it starts landing right up in front of you. So is the internet the collective consciousness? I believe so. I truly believe so. But it can be whatever you want. It's vibrations that are going to come your way. It's unbelievable the stuff that comes up in front of me. Now you say, well, a programmer did that. But did the programmer do that because somebody wanted him to do that? Because knowing that we need to get together, right? There's a little bit of philosophy in there, right? A little bit of metaphysics. We're all coming out of the dark ages. We're preparing for this. Our brothers and sisters of the 70s tried, and they did a lot of vibrating, right? They knew what was going on. But astrologically, it played with some people's heads, because that's what's happening now with this conjunction. There was things in the past that happened, but with no collective consciousness to tell everybody what's really happening, then it doesn't always turn out the way they want. They start grasping on what's ever on TV and say, I got to go there. I got to go there. I got to go do what those bankers want.
Yeah.
So yeah, every day, Karen. I mean, I know when I wake up at certain times that I feel I got to get up, and then there's either a message on my screen on my computer, or there's an animal waiting for me outside, cloud formations, unbelievable the things that can happen in your life when you just open up. They're there waiting for you. The animals are there. Each animal collectively is a consciousness. They communicate 100%.
Yes, yes. I think that's living more maybe in the fifth, sixth dimension, isn't it? It's in your brain.
Yeah, it's all in there. Like Ken says, the birds see the redshift. That's how they know to fly south. Well, they probably see more than just the redshift. I think they can read you. I think they can read you like a clock. Cats do, dogs do. You can see dogs barking at people, cats not getting along with people, right?
Imagine listening to actually, we had a film like that. Do you remember years ago? But it was Mad Max, and he could hear into women's brains.
Yeah. Well, there's a thought. I'm going to leave that one alone.
Can you imagine that if you could hear? I mean, I think I do sometimes. It's not that or maybe actually hear their voices in my head, but I can actually see what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had visions where I just see a bunch of people's faces and with their mouths moving, saying nothing though. It's like really bizarre, right? Like it's something that you got to get used to, because you want to block it out right away, right? And so I'm trying to open up more there. But I'm getting a lot of, I just thought of you. Oh my God, you said that word. I just had another guy say that word to me. I mean, so everybody's getting lit up, whether they like it or not. Goodness is falling upon you, whether they like it or not. It's awesome.
Oh, I could do with some goodness. Hooray!
Got to get a little bit of good once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
All the
Been
time.
a bit heavy lately. Not maybe in myself as a person, just the whole thing around me, the egg around me.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I just choose now to allow what I want to come in my life. And when I do my manifestations, which I do every day at 3:33, if anybody wants, I just play my video every day at 3:33. It's got nothing but positive images, and it's all the 10 commandments rewritten. That prayer that I do is 10 commandments rewritten in a positive way. And all it does is you see just beautiful pictures of animals and people and things, right? And that's my manifest. And that's what I manifest. I manifest for abundance, balance, harmony, peace, tranquility, and one love. And I put images there that I imagine. So I only want good people with good intentions that have the exact same manifestations coming into my life. And you know what? It's happening. It's absolutely happening. It's no different than choosing that basketball shot. Might take a little longer than 3 seconds, but there's no such thing as time, but they do come. 12 commandments at least. Yeah, you're right. They lost 2 of them. But don't forget, phi is 1 and 0, 10.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's that on your chart then? It's got it'd be a sequence on your chart. What does it fit into? I remember that when you were talking last
Yeah,
time.
everything is 1 and 0. Everything is 1. Every 0 is the monad. 1 is the start of creation, right? But there's only 1, right? The indivisible, 1. It's indivisible. And that's what we're trying to get to, we as humans. He's funny. Red Squirrel's funny. 10 commandments, 12 apostles. That makes sense. You're right, brother. That's a brother.
Can I just say, by the way, we've been going for about an hour and 3/4. And do you want to carry on?
No, I'm good. I'm good if you guys are good. What's up to you guys?
Yeah, because guys, even though we've done the 6 hours, in fact, one of them was 8 hours. People's attention span, they only listen for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have, you to me, I've enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I explained that. That was aiuto me in Italian and Latin and Spanish means help me, right? Ayuda, aiuto me, ayuda me. And I thought it was a nice little catch with the I and then the Y-O-U and a T-O and a me. Got that from my mom while she was in heaven, by the way. I was asking her for a name of a help website.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
You miss your mum, don't you?
Actually, I don't. Actually, I don't. I know she's with me. You know what I'm saying? Do I miss her body and her hug? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. But I know she's there, man. Are you kidding me? I know she's there. I know my dad's there. Yeah, they're all there.
Brilliant. Well, I'm glad that we weren't disagreeing on that one. Chat room, it's been very interesting today. It's been really nice listening to the universal key, and of course we'll ask Claudio to come back because it is very interesting and people need to hear it a few times, Claudio, and explaining my story a bit. Patricia, do you want to say anything? Got to wait for her to unmute now. Patricia.
I'm here. Dan's just turning the telly. Well, muted the telly a minute. Yeah. Oh, Claudio. Wow. Yeah. What can I say? It's been fascinating.
It's nice listening to Claudio, isn't it? You can tell that he's positive. That's a really good start for a start. We need some positiveness in Flat Earth at the moment. And part of the universal key as well is good.
You know, when you were doing the, I forgot what you called it, like a pyramid thing.
Yeah.
And at the top, you've got Idus. Is that, because it struck me, is it that's the the all-seeing Eidos rather than I?
Yes. Yeah, it would be because because now that you mentioned that, I remember hearing that a long time ago, the all-seeing Eidos. Yeah, because that's the intellectual, the all-knowing. Yep.
And it's not, it's like, it's a personal thing, isn't it? You work at the bottom, there's many layers, and as you get older, you become, because it's like reflections, so you're reflecting back on your life, aren't you, and how you've been and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I know that makes sense, and when it makes logical sense, it's there. So I'm just starting to study this with Ken. I mean, I've been studying his stuff, but I'm going through a couple of his documents that I went through in the past, and you got to go through them with really slowly to understand it, the way he has it written. I mean, when people write things, when they know it, it's very easy to write, and they think that the flow is good, which it is, but it's just too much to take in when you try to read 2 sentences. So I'm trying to split it all apart in a different format so I can share it. And I'm learning at the same time, but because I mean, he's got a whole nother section about the whole logic on why all those things work and why the way they are, and how when you use the retroductive logic, it can't be any other way, right?
Yeah, it's fascinating. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone, and I love you all because my son's trying to learn how to lip read watching this program.
All right, Patricia, thank you.
I love you all. Love you,
Love you all
Claudio.
too.
Love you, Karen.
Oh, I love you too, Patricia. And it's a big, what do you call it? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from Sun and Moon. We're back on Thursday with Marilyn Free Spirit, and then Friday Friday midday for UK. We're with Robert Forsh for Dawn. He's going to film. Well, we're going to be with him when Dawn happens, and they have his camera going. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Anyway, Claudio, that was. And see you Thursday, everybody. Thank you very much.
Take care now.